Hi there, in this screencast I'm going to show you how to handle the scoreboard so that the scoreboard it not only is displayed when they finish a round, but it also kind of keeps a running a list what their times are for what difficulty level and what operation. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to make a variable up at the top, an int variable that's going to be called, I'll call it over count. Okay, and basically this count variable is going to be used in a timer, so that as soon as the game is over and finished is flashed on the screen, after about 3 or 4 seconds, that's going to disappear, as well as the time and how many that question's remaining label, and it's just going to show the scoreboard. So let's go down and where it picks up that the game is over, right here where it flashes to be finished. First of all, I do have a label that's called results that's in the upper left corner, right near the group box that has the operation to choose. So I start with that being not visible, and I'm going to make it visible when I make all of these 3 labels invisible after 5 seconds as soon as the game ends. So when the game ends, let's first add the results to what's already being displayed in the results menu. So I'm going to say, or the results label, I'm going to say label results and then plus equals, and I want plus equals because I'm only going to be adding to what's already there. And I'm going to say, let's see, difficulty level, okay, then a plus sign, then space, then I'm going to say, oops, and I think I missed a Y in difficulty. Was that what it was called? Was it called difficulty level? Yeah, what am I doing wrong? Oh, I just don't have a semicolon yet. Okay, difficulty level plus, and then operation, let's see, was it called operation chosen? Let's see, just op chosen. Okay, so op chosen. Alright, so that's going to add, it's going to say like easy addition. And then I'm going to add the time, the exact time that was recorded on the screen when the timer stopped. So I'm going to say label timer dot text. Oh, and I want to add spaces in between that. Okay, and then oh, and this is very important, I need to do the \r\n so that the very next time when they finish another round, that round score will appear on its own line underneath the round above it. So I'm going to say /n. Okay, so now this statement here doesn't actually display the results. Oops, and it's label results.text. I always forget that. Okay, that's better. That doesn't actually display the results. That simply adds it to the label so that when I'm ready to make that label visible, it will have the correct text in it. Okay, so now here's the tricks that I'm going to use with that overcount variable. Right after I add the results to the label, I'm going to say overcount equals 0. And that now I have a timer that is called timer over. I think you can drag the timer onto the screen. It's in addition, a separate timer from the time timer. It's one that's just called timer over. It also has an interval of 1000. It is not enabled when your game starts. Okay, so I'm going to say, let's go back to where I was. I'm going to say timer over dot enabled equals true. So that turns on that timer. Now, I don't have it doing anything yet, so I need to make the tick event for the timer. So I'm going to double click on that timer over from design view, and I'm going to say, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say over count plus equals 1 semicolon, and then I'm going to say, okay, if over count equals, let's do, what do we want to do? 5 seconds or 4 seconds? I'll try 4. So if overcount equals 4, okay, then what does it need to do? It needs to make the time invisible. So I'm going to say label timer.visible equals false. And then I'm going to say, what else was on the screen? Label questions remaining dot visible equals false. And then I'm going to say what? Oops, and this should have an open curly brace. Then I'm going to say what? Is there one more? Let me go back and look. So that one is called label problem, label questions remaining, label timer. And then I think, did I have one called label finished? Let's see. LBL float, questions remaining. Oh, LBL problem. Oh yeah, that's right. That's where I displayed finished. So I'm going to say LBL problem dot visible equals false. And is that all 3 of them? 1, 2, 3. Yes, it is. Okay, and then guess what? I want to make the results label visible. So I make all the ones that I no longer want to see false, and I make the results label visible. So I'm going to say label results dot visible equals true. And now I want to shut down the timer as soon as it's done all of this. So I say timer over dot enabled equals false. So this is a very common trick with a timer. When you want something to appear on the screen for a certain amount of time, basically you have an count variable that you start off at 0 as soon as the whole sequence begins. So when it says finished here, I said, okay, timer over dot enabled equals true. I had already added their results for that round to the results label. Okay, so then in the tick event for the timer, I increment that count variable so that every time the timer fires, that variable goes up by 1. Then I have an if statement that checks to see if that count variable has reached a certain level, and it will eventually here. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then as soon as it reaches 4, what does it do? It makes all those labels that need to be displayed when the game is running, it makes them not visible, and then it makes the results label visible, and then it shuts down itself. And this is also a very common trick in Windows Forms programming. You have a timer. When it reaches when the time reaches a certain amount, it does a certain whatever you want it to do, and then it shuts itself down. So that's very common. You frequently have a timer turning itself off from within its own tick event. So let's see if this works. Hopefully it does. Alright, so I'm going to do again. Okay, so now after about 4 or 5 seconds, if I did this correct, yes. Okay, results, easy addition, 14.8. Alright, now I don't really like the easy addition being on the same line as the results, because I'm going to be building a list going down, so I'm going to go fix that right now. So let me quit, and what I can do is, let's see. Oh, okay, so when the game starts, I'm going to add a return to, actually, no, here's what I can do. Yeah, I'll do it this way. So in the load event for my game, I'm going to actually set the value of the results label, and I'm going to say LBO results.text equals, and then results, and now I'm going to do 2/r/ns /n, and I can do them one right after the other, because I want a full blank line in between results and the very next the first set of results. And you know what, while I'm doing this right here, let me change this to being only having to answer 4, so that I don't waste everybody's time with me answering 10 questions correctly. So let's see how this works. Okay, so after 4 seconds, alright, there we go. And that's it. Now, when I click begin, if I did this correctly, the results label should disappear. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, so unintended consequences, frequently something you run into when you're programming. So guess what? What do you think I need to do? Well, I know someone is thinking it. I need to, when they hit the begin button, I need to make the results label be false. So I'm going to say label results.visible equals false. Now, it won't be when the game starts, in which case it's okay if you have a statement that makes it visible when it's invisible when it's already invisible. But after one round, it is going to be visible. So you do want to have make that not be visible when they click to start another game. So I'm going to get through 2 games here, and we can see if it's going to be building my list, my results correctly. So the first thing should be easy addition, 5.9. Okay, now when I do, you know what, let's do easy multiplication, just for the heck of it. So I'm going to do 9, 20, 4, 18, 30. Okay, now when the results comes up, it should say easy multiplication. Yes, it does. Excellent. Alright, pretty much that's, I think, all you need to do the basic arithmetic quiz game. That should be enough to get you to have a fully functional, kind of fun little game. So you can add a few more bells and whistles if you want. If you want to do a splash screen, I can help you do that. I know a couple of you, one person's already been experimenting with a splash screen and a code. But this is the basic one, so I'll be happy if you finish it like this. Alright, I think this was kind of fun. Hopefully